How did you choose to work with ROADRUNNER?
My name's John Ortel, and I came to have a relationship with ROADRUNNER through Steve Booth, who was not a direct colleague, but a friend that I knew at Los Alamos National Laboratory. He was very excited about the technology and mini splits, and expressed to him at the time I was interested in the technology and not really too committed, but. And then some year later or so, I get a flyer in the mail. It says ROADRUNNER, and I remember he's driving around a truck that has a ROADRUNNER on it. So I reached out to ROADRUNNER and subsequently had a meeting with Steve, and so that was how I got initiated into ROADRUNNER.
What specific HVAC services did you require, and how did we meet your needs?
So. What we decided to do, so let me back up one step. So this house was built in like 1972. And in 1972, the requirements for HVAC, or specifically air conditioning, wasn't really that important. Now things are starting to get warmer. In fact, this summer, we've had temperatures in the upper 90s. So specifically, what services that ROADRUNNER provided was a two-zone with an option for a third zone mini split heat pump, which is really nice because it provides nice, comfortable temperature in what we call the great room, and then also we have another unit, wall-mounted unit that's in the bedroom, the primary bedroom. It was absolutely the right decision for us because it also has supplemental heat. The other thing how it really met our needs is that we were really concerned about noise, and conventional compressors with conventional duct-based HVAC systems. That thing kicks on and the whole neighborhood hears it. That's an exaggeration, of course, but so it's running in the background right now, and you can it's just a whisper, and it's very nice.
How did our HVAC services benefit your home?
Temperatures certainly in Los Alamos are increasing. So for us, it's making it more comfortable. And the fact that it is an efficient system because we went to great lengths of having inert gas filled double pane windows and a light colored metallic roof and foam insulation all the way around the walls and with stucco, and then stuffed as much insulation we could in the ceiling. And so we're doing everything we could to make the house more efficient. It's making it more comfortable because we're spending more time here. That was something that was efficient where you didn't have the intrusiveness of having to run ductwork in the ceilings. And before we got the mini split, we would do all kinds of stupid human tricks by taking fans and forcing air from the basement up to this level and pushing the hot air back down, so now we don't have to do anything like that anymore. So it's benefited us greatly for the house.
Were there any challenges or concerns you had before using our HVAC services, and how were they addressed?
Biggest one for me is the electrical capacity that we had here at the house. We've got a 200 amp service that comes in, which is probably what they put in 1972. And so we have a garage and a hot tub, and so all those kinds of things take more and more and more electricity. And so basically our box is completely filled up. We needed to increase the electrical capacity before we were able to do anything like a mini split. A big part of the tipping point for me was the fact that ROADRUNNER had access to a very, very good electrician who had integrity, which to me means he showed up when he said he was going to show up, and he did what he said he was going to do. And so we were able to increase the service here, and in fact now I can even add more, which is kind of a nice thing. And I believe the electrician's name is Octavio, and he is top notch. In fact, I'll probably be hiring him to do other things here at the house now that I've had an opportunity to meet him through ROADRUNNER.
How do you describe the professionalism and expertise of our HVAC technicians?
So So that's one thing that really stands out, in my mind for Roadrunner. Their technicians, would show up when they said they were going to show up, and they're driving from Santa Fe, and so they're here at 8:30, every day. They said that the job would take 3 days. The job took 3 days. They were very respectful of the property. They kind of cleaned as they went. And probably, the most thing for me is because I'm interested in the technology and that I'm retired, I'd kind of shadowed them. And most, people, especially in the service industry, they don't really like people kind of looking over their shoulders, and so that didn't bother them at all. They weren't intimidated by it. And they, in fact, if I asked a question, that's something that didn't look quite right, they're quick to explain the reason why it is. They're top-notch guys. Yeah, I can't say enough about the technicians. Those guys are first class.
Would you recommend our HVA services to others?
Not only would I, but I in fact I have, and probably my next door neighbor will be one of the first people that actually reaches out to Steve and does some work for them. So he's very excited about the possibility, and the questions that my neighbor was asking me, specifically about Roadrunner, I've said many of the same things I've told you are imparted to him as well. But his house is designed a little bit different from ours, and but my point to him was that Steve can take all the parameters from their house, plug it into his software, and crank the algorithm, and and it'll spit out a design that fits not only their cooling and heating needs, but also something that can be affordable to them. So the affordability was another thing that was a big plus for us too. In addition, there are actually tax advantages too. So you can actually write some of this off your income taxes at the end of the year. So not that was really our motivation, but that's kind of always a nice touch too. Well, thanks. I appreciate it, and I know that once we decide to add the third zone, the capacity that we have, Roadrunner will be the first people that we reach out to. So thanks for stopping by.